good, bitches? I am the almighty fucking MassaCreature. This video is going to be about the show I went to at Jaxx not too long ago, where I saw two of my favorite bands, Born of Osiris and Veil of Maya. It was my 6th time seeing both of these bands, but I've never seen them in the same lineup before, so it was fucking amazing. I also saw Carnifex for my 2nd time, Structures for my 1st time, Betraying the Martyrs for my 1st time, and An Obscure Signal for my 3rd time. It was just incredible, man. The show started out with me standing out in line for like an hour because my dad had to get me there early so he could get to work on time. When I went into the venue, I went to the Syke table to check out some of their shit. For everyone who doesn't know, Syke helps Outer Loop manage some of the local shows in Virginia, and they're also kind of an anti-tobacco activist group, and I admire that considering that I'm straight edge. They had this table with a bunch of merch and promotional shit, right? And all of it was free. I was like, holy fucking shit, these guys are the best. I got a free Sumerian Records sampler CD, a free poster, a free promotional card for the show, a free Syke bracelet, a bunch of free anti-tobacco cards, and a free Syke guitar pick. As far as I'm concerned, these guys rock, man. Some people might not value that shit, but I see a lot of sentimental value in it. So after I got that shit from the Syke table, I went out into the pit and watched the first 2 local bands do their thing. The 2 local bands were Hydra Kill and Helm's Deep, and they're pretty good, but when Obscure Signal came on, that's when everyone started moving. Now, when they played Nature of Monsters, I went absolutely ape shit, but unfortunately I was going a little too hard without warming up, and I started to feel sick from it. After the song was over, I got really fucking nauseous, and I felt like I was gonna throw up. I mean, I literally gagged because I felt so sick, and I did it completely involuntarily. I was like, and I was 2 seconds away from just running to the fucking bathroom, but I just sat down and breathed really slowly for like 15 minutes. Betraying the Martyrs came on after them, but every time I stood up, I would feel really dizzy like I was about to pass out, and the last thing I wanted to do at a show was pass out, so I basically just sat down and relaxed for Betraying the Martyrs. When Structures came on, I was feeling better, so I stood up and watched them play, but I still felt a bit lightheaded, so I stayed out of the pit for them and Carnifex. Betraying the Martyrs, Structures, and Carnifex were all amazing, by the way. I enjoyed them all the same, even though I felt too nauseous to throw. I basically felt like I would throw up if I threw down. Jeez, lamest pun ever. In spite of all that, Veil of Maya came on after Carnifex. When that shit happened, I completely let go of any thought of nausea. They started out with Crawl Back like they usually do, and when I was in that pit just screaming back the lyrics, I felt completely fucking healthy. I was having too much fucking fun to feel like I was physically debilitated in any way. Veil of Maya is just a phenomenon. They're fucking legendary. One thing I particularly admire about them is that they're fans of Lost. I know Lost is kind of an old show, but I've just become a fan of the show thanks to the magic of Netflix, and it's one of the greatest shows I've ever seen next to Pokemon, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and Beetleborgs, because I'm a fucking little kid like that. But anyway, when I was in the crowd, I caught eye of someone wearing a very intriguing Veil of Maya shirt. On the front, it had the Dharma Initiative logo, with the V from Veil of Maya right in the center, and on the back it said, "Live together, die alone." And I was shitting fucking bricks. It was the coolest fucking shirt I've ever seen, and I could only curse myself for not having the fucking money to get one myself. I recently learned that the song Namaste is actually a reference to Lost. I remember watching Lost and hearing that Asian dude say Namaste in those Dharma orientation videos, and I was like, did he just say Namaste? And when I looked up the lyrics to Namaste, I was like, yeah, this is a song about Lost. What I thought was even more fascinating was that they used those numbers from Hugo's Curse in the song as a time signature for the breakdown. I was like, no, they didn't. Yes, they damn well fucking did. Veil of Maya, you motherfucking geniuses. I just couldn't help but fall all the more in love with the band, seeing all these little details. And when I saw that shirt in the crowd, I was just like, this band owns my fucking soul. I like to point out that in between bands, Jaxx would play music on the speakers, right? And every time they would play music, they would play a whole album, or at least several songs from a certain album. After An Obscure Signal, they played After the Burial's album Rare Form. After Betraying the Martyrs, they played All Shall Perish's album The Price of Existence. After Structures, they played Periphery's album Periphery. After Carnifex, they played Oceano's album Contagion. After Veil and Maya played, they played Carnival's album Sound Awake. And that's all I remember, if there were any other albums. I felt special knowing that. Every time they played an album that I knew, I felt really special. I was like, holy fucking shit, I know this shit. And I would basically just stand still and mouth back the lyrics as if people were watching me and going, hey, that dude knows the fucking song. He's pretty cool. I like that dude. Veil and Maya played their set, and I had a fucking blast. And I always feel like a little kid on Christmas Eve waiting for Born of Osiris to come. It's like being buried beneath an avalanche of excitement and anticipation. And when I saw them come on stage and start playing Follow the Signs, I was just like, yeah, shit just got serious. Seeing Born of Osiris live was just something I live for. I know all the lyrics to their albums The New Rain and The Higher Place. I don't know the lyrics to The Discovery as much because ever since I started hardcore moshing, I stopped prioritizing the lyrics. Whereas before I started hardcore moshing, I would go to shows and go all the way up to the front of the venue so I could get really close to the band and have a chance to scream the lyrics into the mic. But now I always go to the very back of the venue so I can be a little wannabe ninja, you know? Because I get more intimate with the music like that, and I personally don't have as much fun when I don't feel like I'm in some kind of physical danger at a show. So there Born of Osiris was, and I was screaming every lyric from the bottom of my fucking heart to the top of my fucking lungs, like always. The show was the very first time I've ever heard them play The Very End to Now Arise. And when they played The End to Now Arise, some fucking random dude in the crowd and I just looked at each other with really aggressive faces and shouted back the lyrics together. And it was one of the greatest, most glorious fucking moments in my entire concert going career. Out of all the songs I like to throw to, Recreate is definitely my favorite. Whenever they play Recreate, the pit just fucking empties, and I'm the only one in there. Let's just say I really steal the spotlight whenever they play that fucking song. Whenever they play that song, I just feel like I'm on top of the world and I've ascended to the fabric of a higher plane. I feel like I've completely escaped from the universe and found something so unfathomably beautiful it could never be depicted by simply speaking in front of a webcam. Every last second of that song and that band is worth every waking breath of my entire fucking life, and nobody on this planet could ever mean those words more than I. After they got done with that song, some random girl was complimenting my throwing in the crowd, and while that was happening, Born of Osiris agreed to do an encore, and they did 2 fucking encore songs, and it was just my lucky fucking day. I'd like to make a confession though. One thing that disheartens me is Born of Osiris never plays songs from A Higher Place, an exception for Now Arise. At the show, they played 7 of the 8 songs from The New Rain, 6 of the 15 songs from The Discovery, and 1 song from A Higher Place. I've seen them 6 times, and the only song I've ever heard them play, except for Now Arise, from that album, is Exist. I can't help but think that they, their record label, or their fans just don't like that album. And that album is my favorite album by them. I bet A Higher Place feels neglected. It's one of the most brilliant albums I've ever heard. It's progressive, epic, crushing, unique, genius, and just a musical masterpiece. I used to listen to that album every day for like 5 months. It was like my crack. I mean, I would listen to it while I would straighten my hair, while I would clean my room, while I would carry furniture into our storage unit, while I would work out, while I would fall asleep, while I would browse the internet, etc. Every song on there just owns another piece of my fucking heart. There is no bad song on there, and every song is worth 5 stars. Maybe people think I'm crazy for that, but I think people are just not open-minded enough to appreciate it. It'd be nice if the band could squeeze in a few more of their songs from that album for their sets. It seriously wouldn't hurt. Any song. Rebirth, Elimination, The Accountable, Live Like I'm Real, Starved, Put to Rest, A Descent, A Higher Place, An Ascent, Thrive, or Faces of Death would be brilliant. Not that I'm complaining about the songs they do play. I just hate to think that my favorite band may not be satisfied with one of their own creations. Something like that is just not really fun to think. That's all I'm saying. After they did their encore, I immediately went to the side of the stage and got autographs on my Punisher shirt from Ronnie the singer and Joe the keyboardist. I told these guys that it was my 6th time seeing them, how much they meant to me, and in my mind, I was just cherishing the moments that I had in their presence. Joe even told me he remembered seeing me last time they played at Jaxx in 2009 with All Shall Perish. Words like that really stick with you. After I got the autographs, I went back into the pit only to see the singer for Betraying the Martyrs giving autographs, and as you can assume, I got his fucking autograph too. I wanted at least one autograph on my poster, so I fetched my poster that was still hidden in the back of the pit, and I got him to sign it. My dad was standing at the side of the venue waiting for me, since I had texted him saying to come get me right after Vale and Maya finished their set. The only reason I did was so he would have a chance to see Born of Osiris before they finished. Turns out he was chilling in the venue for about half an hour, and he enjoyed the show, so I'm glad I left him that text. Right before we left the venue, Mark, the guitarist for Vale and Maya, was standing right outside the bar, and even though I got 3 autographs that night, I needed a 4th one. So I got him to sign my shirt, I told him I loved him, and he told me he loved me too. That's all I could say. I couldn't find the state of mind to specifically express my immeasurable admiration for him, his musical talents, and his passion for Lost, so I love you was all I could say. I went to 7-Eleven with my dad. I gave a guy who was at 7-Eleven a handshake who was in the pit with me for the whole show. I got a fierce-smelling Gatorade. And I spent the drive home with my dad just reflecting on how memorable and wonderful the fucking show was. The Discovery Tour 2011, motherfuckers. It's just another eternal memory for me to eternally enjoy. Osirian for life, bitches. This would be the Syke bracelet. Pretty sexy. This is a promotional card for the show. See, it has all the band's names: Born of Osiris, Vale of Maya, Carnifex, Hydra Kill, An Obscure Signal, Train the Martyrs, and Structures. Friday, December 2nd at Jaxx, the Discovery Tour. Fuck yeah. And on the back it has this shit. This is another show that I will not be able to go to because it's out in Richmond, I believe. Yeah, the Hat Factory. Fuck, can't go to Richmond. And I got 2 just so I could put both up on my wall. That's pretty cool. This is a little Syke anti-tobacco card about hookah. It says, how much do you know about hookah? Is hookah worth it? Learn more at psychva.com. Fact, hookah smoke contains 36 times more tar than cigarette smoke, and our hookah session has as much smoke as 100 cigarettes. That's like 5 packs in 1 hour, as much carbon monoxide as an entire pack. Hookah smoke also contains deadly toxins like arsenic, chromium, and lead. These can increase the risk of lung cancer and lung damage. Well, that's why I'm straight edge, bitch. This is the Sumerian sampler I was telling you about. Now, Sumerian's my favorite label, so I love every fucking band the sampler has. It's got Sonic on there. Fucking genius. But it's actually Sumerian the Hype Hog, not Sonic the Hedgehog. On the back we have After the Burial, Borgor, Conducting the Grave, I See Stars, Periphery, Structures, Asking Alexandria, Born of Osiris, Dead Letter Circus, Eye the Breather, Stick to Your Guns, Upon a Burning Body, Betraying the Martyrs, Circle of Contempt, The Faceless, Lower Than Atlantis, Straight from the Path, and Vale and Maya. Every fucking one of those bands is just fucking brilliant. And this would be my poster that is signed by the singer for Betraying the Martyrs. This is the show that's advertised on this card. Like I said, I can't go to that show. I wish I could, but nah. We Came as Romans is good. I've seen them. Falling in Reverse, never heard of them. Sleeping with Sirens, I have seen and met them. Attila, I've seen and met them. For All I Am, I've never heard them either, but yeah, I got a lot of fucking bands that I need to catch up on. And this is going up on my wall. I have no idea how I'm gonna fucking make room for this shit, but I guess I'll find some way. I got a few other things. This is another hookah card. It says, smoking hookah is smoking tobacco. Fact, hookah smoke has 36 times more tar than cigarettes. Yeah, they're pretty dedicated to their cause. Yeah, like I said, another reason to be straight edge. I am the Dark Lord MassaCreature. Stick to your guns, light your own path, and biohazard for fucking life.